Hello, good afternoon. Welcome. My name is Yves Richard Blanc. I'm with Blanc Global Dynamism. Um, we're starting this inaugural show called SafeCom. We're very, very excited about it. The idea in this podcast is to connect with folks that are looking for information around safety, health and safety, and security on the job. Our goal is to really be focused about sharing great information. We want to hear from you. We want to hear about some of the concerns that you may have. We want to hear some of these questions, and so hopefully we can answer these type of questions. These are very, very difficult times now with COVID really ravaging the workforce, really ravaging the bottom line of a number of companies. So we're very, very happy and blessed that we were able to make it through over the last year. But our goal is to get a lot of the great information from experts all around the country. My company, Blanc Global Dynamism, we are we are an affiliated partner with Turing Video. This is one of the highest cutting edge technology companies that are really providing solutions around safety, health concerns on the job, and so forth. So, a lot of my experts who are going to be on this podcast are going to be all over the country, all sorts of different fields, but I'm going to lean heavily on my partners to really share solutions as I hear back with a lot of your concerns. So we're going to be streaming every week. We're going to be having a lot of great guests, a lot of great information. So this afternoon for our initial show, I was lucky enough to really grab one of the great minds working at Turing Video. Nick Marizzi is actually the senior vice president of sales for the whole company. So, pretty much, what does that mean? He handles sales all over our national contracts as well as international opportunities. So, I'm very grateful that he's able to join us today. We're going to talk a little bit about him, what the relationship to Turing has been for him since he's joined the company, but also we're going to question him about really what Turing is doing out there to make people safer. So, good afternoon, Nick. Welcome to the show. I am thrilled to have you on, and thank you very much for the time that you can afford us.
Hi, Eve. How you doing? Thanks
I
for
am
having me.
doing great. I am so excited to have you aboard.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting year, hasn't it?
It sure has, my friend. It's just been amazing. So, Nick, tell our audience a little bit about yourself, your background, how you ended up with Turing, this great young company, and some of the things that you've been doing over the last year.
Yeah, definitely. The last year it's been crazy. So maybe I'll start there and then give a little background on myself.
Right.
But the first goal here for me and our company, we're just happy and grateful that we've been able to help the country reopen and get people back to work. When we entered into this marketplace about a year ago, we took a solution, and our number one goal, was to help people get back to work. And
Right.
that's how we launched this product called Turing Shield. That product I'll share a little bit about today. But essentially, I've been in the high tech industry almost 30 years. Launched and started multiple cybersecurity as well as data security and data management software solutions. And I'm currently working with an artificial intelligence company called Turing Video, and we make a video analytics product.
Right.
We take that video analytics product and we make IoT devices for video and digital images smart. We focus those devices on safety and security use cases. So when the COVID situation arose, we looked at our current platform and we said, should be a use case we can solve for, because this is a safety use case for the workplace. And very quickly, we launched the Turing Shield. Through the last year, we've helped some of the largest companies in the world reopen with a protocol that walks their employees or visitors through a fever detection, CDC self-assessment, monitoring, reporting, alerting, mass detection, contact tracing, all that data is stored in a platform. It also delivers a really clean, efficient workflow for the employees as they reenter. So there's a safety. You deliver essentially a safety solution, which then turns into a compliance solution for the organization. And that's currently what we're doing. It's been an amazing year. We've seen so many essential workers get back to the office, back to the manufacturing facility, back to the healthcare facility, back to the corporate office for essential, data products that have been required. So it's just really been an awesome year.
Right, that's terrific. I would think over the last year you've been really building momentum. How did you see the market though initially when you went out there? Now, was it a company that was in a lot of trouble that really reached out to you guys? And how did you come up with the solution as you were building this?
Yeah, I mean, some of our IoT devices that we work with are things like robots and video cameras. And when we were working with our clients on those types of requirements, we heard about the need around the COVID requirements.
Right.
And that essentially allowed us to take our solution and really hone it in on that use case. And now we've helped organizations like Albertsons. 2,500 of their facilities have been deployed with Turing Video. So we transact 150,000 employees and visitors go through an Albertsons protocol through our system and our platform every single day. So if you go to grocery stores, those people are being protected by Turing Video's solution.
Wow. Did you see 150,000 per day?
150,000 employees or visitors move through the Albertsons network of IoT devices that we manage.
Wow, that's pretty amazing, my friend. It really, really is. So again, here at SafeCom, our idea is to share these kind of brilliant ideas that are out there, right? And be able to let our followers on all sorts of media, the folks that really like and understand what we're doing, let them know that there are solutions out there because there was still a very high level of panic. And That's going on out there in the US and particularly what's going on in Europe. So I just don't think that things are still, it's going to take a long time to get back to normal. So now you were talking about robotics, you were talking about cameras, you're talking about all those things. Were you able to really package all that around this pandemic? And how are you able to bring that kind of technology depending? And also, Albertson is one of the largest corporations in the US. Are we going to be able to help some of the smaller companies as well?
Yeah, definitely. Nobody's immune, and I would say that I agree with the word panic. But
Right.
from our vantage point, from the business side and the rollouts and how organizations are handling the pandemic today versus 12 months ago is night and day different.
Right.
12 months ago was definitely panic. People were buying things that they didn't even know and what they needed. And now, when we help our customers, they're definitely thoughtful. They know what they want. They have ideas of what they want. We also know what the biggest companies in the world are doing around protocol, process, and procedure, and storage of data, and reporting of data, and monitoring of data. So from us, they learn best practices of what other organizations like them are doing, and therefore then they're able to build their solution for forever, right? Because
Right.
reality is that if you're gonna protect your company for safety and security, you're gonna have to put pandemic on the list now.
No, there's no doubt about that. Absolutely. Now, what are some of the trends recently? So let's say over the last 3 months that you've seen, right? Have been going. What are the trends? What are companies are mostly in need of, and that Turing can provide a solution for?
Yeah, it's pretty much every vertical you can imagine, everything from manufacturing to healthcare to education to government to commercials, businesses that are starting to now reopen. You go down the list, it's pretty much dentist office, sheriffs, the public service groups. They need to ensure that people are healthy when they're on the job, and that they're keeping track of that. So everybody's now well aware of it. So I'd say that trend is the norm now. I'd say
Okay.
what the trends are that we're seeing now more are trends around the lawsuits that are occurring. Sort of as we see COVID cases declining, we're actually seeing lawsuits spike with no sight of slowing down. So it's
So elaborate a little bit more on that. What kind of lawsuits are we talking about?
yeah, I mean all different types, but some new ones that I've learned about is there's this thing called take home lawsuit. Have you ever heard of what that is?
No, I've never have.
Yeah, so a take-home lawsuit, that's when an employee goes to work, comes home, their spouse or sibling or family member gets COVID, and then that person actually sues the employer for that. So it's actually second removed, and those are on the rise. So the essentially the better approach as an organization is to be prepared for, especially if you have if your business has risk, right? If you have a lot to
Right.
protect, you're better off to make sure that you're providing a safe workplace. You're when you do that, providing that safe workplace, make sure you monitor it so that
Mhm.
you track the data. Therefore, then you can audit, report, alert, remediate, notify, audit. I go down the list, right?
Mhm.
And so that's what organizations are doing, and I think it's a good thing.
So now this all this can be provided to a customer, to a client under one platform. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yep. Yeah. One pop up. Essentially, you pick your solution, and from there it gets rolled out. You deploy it. It's very quick, plug and play, and very quickly you're capturing the people through a protocol.
Okay. Now, again, what about um, OSHA visits? Because I would think now, with so many companies reopening, right? You're getting a lot more people in the building. The likelihood of infections also rises. Certainly, we're very excited that a lot of folks are getting vaccinated. Probably not enough, obviously, but I'm sure now the government is going to start doing a lot more spot checking, because if there are people in buildings, if there are people on site, if there are people working next to each other, so there are specific protocols well beyond just COVID. How has Turing been able to innovate to kind of really look at some of those things as well?
Yeah, I mean, all that's about reporting. So you need to be able to report within 24 to 48 hours on with data, and if you can
Okay.
do that, then the chances go up that you're going to be compliant. So what we've seen around OSHA related is that the fines are increasing, about $3.5 million worth of fines so far. OSHA wasn't doing a lot of hardcore work during the shutdowns, but as things
Right.
are reopening, OSHA's get back to their normal work as well, and so we know that they'll be in checking on COVID-related safety and health and safety measures, and so I would expect the fines to increase unless people are following the rules.
Okay. So have you seen companies reach out to Turing specifically to look at options in terms of really this particular portion of your technology?
Yeah, it's twofold, right? It's you have two kind of needs. The majority need for the enterprise or the people who have risk is you need to solve for a solution that allows you to ingest people into your facility, employees and visitors,
Hmm.
and be able to track and monitor and report on that. And so I would say that those are the main drivers. And then there's other folks that sort of just are using our solution more like a thermometer,
Right.
and that's like almost like the throwaway use case. They're buying it for a period of time to take temperatures, and then they'll take temperatures again next year, probably with our device or another device for that.
Hmm.
The bigger help really is definitely the combining of the two together.
Right. Right. So I mean, I would think there is some competition in this space. So do some of these other companies, do they provide the kind of technology that Turing does, or how different are they? Because from what you're telling me, you're able to really attack this problem from multiple angles.
Yeah, it's a solution sale, and I would say no. Our competition can't compete at a solution level.
Hmm.
Where an order can be placed in 3 to 4 days, a device and a data platform would be hooked up, and the customer would be operational. I don't think any of our competitors compete there. I would say most of our competitors are running on an Android device. Most of them don't have a cloud platform for the data.
Okay.
Most of them, they're artificial intelligence around triggering alerts and temperature screening and mass detection and CDC questionnaire accuracy. The AI is not very strong, so therefore the results are weaker. But yes, there is a lot of competitors in the space.
Okay. Now, it's really great. I mean, this is really exciting stuff. When I first got involved with Turing, it requires a lot to learn so much that you guys are doing. And almost every single month, there's new innovation happening at the company, which is very, very exciting. Where do you see this space, let's say in the next 3 to 6 months? What do you see Turing going? What do you see? What other thing that you think that the company will look forward to really doing and adding to this portfolio?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of use cases our customers are asking us for. Many of them: visitor management, time clock integration, occupancy management, um, video analytics to deliver safety and security use cases. So integrating with their video cameras alongside with the Turing Shield product to combine the whole package together. So therefore, as a EH&S, you could environmental health and safety person, you could manage all your health and safety in one platform.
Hmm. And with that though, how are you able to protect data and information, particularly if you're dealing with a healthcare facility or a hospital or anything like that, in terms of HIPAA? What are the safeguards that are within the technology that can help out for that space?
Yeah, so we're a SOC 2 compliant, which gives us our HIPAA certification, which
Great.
means protecting the data appropriately when it's in rest, and then when the data is moving, it's encrypted. So we protect the data that way. And this is, I think, some of the big differentiators of our company from our competition is they don't. We're an AI software company from Silicon Valley, and
Right.
so we're a cloud data platform type of company, and so when we build our product, we built it for the cloud, and a lot of these folks just kind of are kind of piecing together hardware.
Got you. So, in other words, the data is completely safe and protected, so that there wouldn't be any opportunity that anybody else can get their hands on it. Obviously, right?
That's the goal.
Right. That's pretty awesome. So, anything that you're seeing right now, many of the states are reopening. If someone had a concern, let's say the director of HR of a company that has 1,000 employees around 2 states, what should we tell that individual if they're concerned about those 2 sites? How and what should they put in place immediately to really protect those employees that are coming back at high volume right now?
I mean, from our platform, what I would suggest is that we would deploy a Turing Shield bundle,
Right.
which
Which
essentially
includes.
which includes a whole kit of the cloud platform that delivers all the CDC questions, mass detection, as well as the hardware that you place on site that allows the people to walk through and deliver that use case. Turing Shield.
So basically, at a minimum, the Turing Shield package, that should be something that they should really look at and,
That's
and
correct.
start really bringing it in. So if so again, if someone wanted the Turing Shield, how quickly does Turing deploy that? How can we get it into a company quickly, run whatever test that we need, get it up and running so they can get their employees in safely?
Yeah, so for SMB, small medium sized businesses that don't have a lot of customization, you
Right.
can they can expect to have units on site in 3, 4, 5 days, and
That's
be
pretty fast.
operational. And then if you're a big enterprise client, that has typically the enterprise clients like an Albertsons or a Salesforce or a McKesson, these are big customers of ours. They'll have some customization workflows, and those will take a bit longer to make sure the workflows are all ironed out before we deliver the
Mhm.
cloud platform and the hardware.
Right. So, I mean, that's pretty fast. So, we're talking about less than a week here. That's
Yeah,
pretty amazing.
this is how we got people back to work. I mean, it really was. We were, a lot of our units and cloud subscriptions were sold to the farming community.
Mhm.
To the meat packing industry, to the people that were making sure the food was moving around our country in March, April, May, June of last year.
Right.
So we really felt the impact of helping those folks get back to work and get back to work safe and while keeping the organization secure.
Yeah. I mean, from what you're saying, it's almost every vertical in terms of manufacturing, healthcare, finance, you name it, you're able to really create the solution as a base from the Turing Shield, is able to come in as a bare minimum platform. And from there, you're able to customize it depending on what they're looking for or whatever concerns they may have. Correct?
Yeah, it's a software platform.
Right.
Yep.
So you mentioned farming, manufacturing, meat packing. Those are all different types of companies, different types. Does the technology change depending on where the device is? So if it's outside, if it's inside, how are you able to do that to protect individuals in different areas?
Yeah, I mean, the goal is to keep it not as we don't you don't need a lot of variability. What we're
Okay,
trying to do is automate, and so generally speaking, there's not a lot of change to the hardware.
great.
The software, there's changes because that's a workflow change. Um,
Got you. Okay,
yeah,
that makes perfect sense. Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay. Anything else you'd like to add, um, Nick? Anything that I have not covered? Anything that you think is really important that you've heard over several times from your clients?
yeah, some new things that are definitely coming on as people get more as our organizations get more and more under control with how they're going to deliver a protocol around COVID and pandemic type use cases. We're seeing a
Mhm.
lot more need now around video analytics. Um,
Okay. So
so
tell us a little bit more about that.
yeah, so video surveillance as a service conceptually. So being able to take advantage of the video cameras that are deployed throughout these facilities. So we're at the just go to Albertsons or go to Salesforce or go to McKesson's story, and they've got get video cameras deployed all over their facilities.
Right.
All of those cameras are generally just recording. They're not doing much alerting or triggering or reporting or monitoring. It's
Right.
just recording. And so then when they need to access that video to go solve for something that came up, they're going and doing a bunch of time spending looking at video feeds, 3 hours, 4 hours, people looking at streams to determine what happened during that time frame. And
Mhm.
so what we've been able to do with our AI video analytics product is we're now cutting the time to solve for all of these potential use cases around safety and security outside of COVID for the organization. So they're seeing a
Got
lot
you.
more in it. Yeah.
So that's a tremendous added value because now, once you set up this platform, there's so many additional use for the software, and that's obviously that's going to be well beyond anything that happens with COVID over the next year or two. So adding that component of really almost mining that data over the years, that's really going to help out. And what
Yep.
kind of return on investment are we looking at on average with something like that? Somebody gets this kind of package.
I mean, we're seeing less than 60 days for sure on return on investment for manual workflows. So buy
Wow.
it. Yeah, exactly. Like for example, Albertson's use case was even way greater than that. They had at every one of their facilities, they had a shed where they staffed a person to do this documenting, reporting, mass detection, temperature screening, CDC
Hmm.
questions. They'd paid people to stand there and do that work. And so, just that people that didn't, they never had to pay before as well. So it's just they're, very quickly, this cost is like, wow, I'm spending set $60,000, $70,000, and I can do this protocol with an automated solution and put those people back to work doing the things that we need them to do to get the food out
Right.
the door. And so it's definitely the return on investment's quick. And then as you pull in the video cameras and you tie the video cameras into the front door, the back door that we've protected with the Shield product,
Right.
the whole data becomes way more powerful.
Yeah. So basically what you're doing is piggybacking to initial investments that they may have already done because of safety concerns at their facilities, at their executive offices. It could be at a manufacturing plant. And so they've already had this. And so now you're able to add the technology to it to do even more for what they have in place.
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
That's I mean, it's definitely we want to help on. Essentially, our goal is to help on safety and security use cases, leveraging our AI software and video
Right.
analytics capabilities, and we've proven that we can do that extremely well with COVID use case around safety and compliance, and which is another word for security.
Right.
Um, and so we're now able to then go, okay, these are some of the other ways that we can help you solve for safety and security use cases. And so now we're helping them on other places of their business.
Okay, excellent. And so I would think that because you're ahead of your time here with this technology, um, how quickly are you looking to deploy some of these new technologies that you're talking about? Are we talking about the next month, the next uh, 90 days, the next
We've
100
been.
days?
These are things that we already have. Yeah, these are things that we've had in our. Our company's been around since 2017.
Hmm.
So there's solutions that are already we've already built, and now we're just actively rolling those out with our existing clients and targeting them and helping them grow. And then it will be more and more people will continue to adopt it.
This is terrific.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I am so thrilled, and I know how busy you are, right? So I'm so thrilled that you were able to come in and really visit with us today and give us some straight knowledge about really what's happening out there in the world. I mean, folks can watch CNN, they can watch other channels and understand what's going on and what the problems are. But here at SafeCom, we want individuals like you to come on and really share about the solutions, the answers, letting people know that there are things that we can do to protect folks out there and keep them safe. And that's really what we want to share with our audience. So we are absolutely thrilled and very grateful for your time that you've been able to spend with us. Is there anything else you'd like to say to our audience?
Thanks, Yves. Appreciate it. Have a great evening.
Thank you very much, and be well and stay safe out there. And let's continue to really help a lot of these folks. We really appreciate you.
Bye bye.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us again. If you have any questions, please make sure that you either email us, DM us, direct message, or you can put something in the comment below. We'll make sure that we follow up with you, we promise. So, again, please like, subscribe, or follow us on any one of our platforms. We need for you to be able to get this kind of information on a weekly basis. Thank you very much. I am your host, Eve, and this is SafeCom.